Welcome to Wake Up News Live on Globe TV with me, Sandra at BOAHEN. Now let's take a look at the headlines. Coming up, the Ghana Police Service is probing the alleged murder of a Ghanaian woman who was back in the country on holiday from her base in Italy. Also in the bulletin, Razak Avo-Liya, the youth organizer for the National Democratic Congress in the Swami constituency, is scheduled to be arraigned on Thursday following an investigation into a viral video in which he incited political violence ahead of the 2024 general elections. Also in the bulletin, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has reiterated the importance of the judiciary to Ghana's democratic growth. And we have for you, after years of traffic headaches, construction to begin on the Techiman to Wasie intersection. Lastly, second handlers want the government to suspend all plans to ban the importation of used appliances into the country as it risks affecting their livelihood. Well, do stay with us for the details of these stories and many more coming up to you on the Wake Up News, including sports. Well, thank you very much for your time this morning. Let's begin with the Ghana Police Service is probing the alleged murder of a Ghanaian woman who was back in the country on holiday from her base in Italy. The Italian-based Ghanaian woman, believed to be in her 50s, was murdered by a neighbor at Sepe Buokrum near Kumasi in the Ashanti region. According to reports, Maako sustained stab wounds from her 20-year-old neighbor, identified as Bafi. Here is a report filed by Idrusu Hamzata.
The suspect, Bafi, is like a family to the deceased. It is believed that Bafi often visits Marcos, the deceased, anytime she returns home and is around. But on Monday, it was alleged that Marcos has been murdered by Bafi. According to an eyewitness, they saw the suspect jump out of a window in the victim's apartment to flee the scene after allegedly executing the crime. The deceased lived in an apartment on the second floor of a story building. They believe the suspect went through a window leading to Marco's apartment where he gained access to her. According to some residents, the suspect had attempted to break into the apartment weeks ago, but any issues regarding that were solved. An eyewitness said he got to the scene after hearing a noise that suggested a struggle in the apartment. The alarmed residents later broke into the room to find the woman in a pool of blood. However, the suspect Bafi was arrested by some neighbors who tracked him from the scene after several attempts to prevent his escape. The suspect is, however, assisting the police investigation.
Now, the police are considering further action after a post-mortem on one Shadrach Alo, who died allegedly in the hands of police, seemed to have exonerated the law enforcement agency from wrongdoing. A sister of the deceased had alleged in a viral video that her brother, who was billed to travel to Germany the following day, was manhandled by the police officer on duty at the West Hills Mall, causing his death.
The Ghana Police Service, upon hearing the incident, charged the Police Professional Standards Bureau to begin investigations into the allegations made by Perpetual Didier. According to the police in a statement on Tuesday, initial investigations led to the arrest of Osei Kwame Boafo, a private security guard who was alleged to have used a taser on the deceased during his arrest. The police further explained that as part of the investigations, a police pathologist met the representatives of the deceased over the post-mortem examination, giving the deceased side the option of getting a pathologist of their choice. However, the representatives opted for the police pathologist. The post-mortem is said to have been done on Tuesday in the presence of 3 relatives of the deceased. According to the autopsy report, the young man died from asphyxiation, adding 8 zipped bags containing dry leaves suspected to be narcotic drugs tied in a piece of black polythene bag were found stuck in his throat. Meanwhile, the sister of Shadrach Alu has disputed the account of the police service over the post-mortem report released on Tuesday. According to Perpetual Didier, the police may have planted the black polythene bag in the throat of his brother before the post-mortem was conducted by the pathologist.
If they are saying they have done all investigations and whatever, he swallowed weed in which is wrapped in rubber, then they found 8 folded wheat inside. Maybe Sagana for say weed in Nkrumah. Weed obi to me many weed rubber in Nkrumah to me many easy sir. The time that he was swallowing it, have they given us a footage of that time he was trying swallowing the weed, and he didn't struggle. He swallowed the weed easily like that. So my stand is, because they didn't wait for our doctor to come inside the operation, I will not accept it. My family too, they are saying they will not accept whatever they brought out. Footage of the action, how the brutalization was going on, how they were handcuffing him, beating him, stepping on his back, holding his legs, touching him with a teaser. All these things, we have it in footage. But the police did not include it in their statement. That means they have swept away everything apart from what they are saying, indicating.
We are still with the police. The service has arrested the suspect Razak Avolia, the youth organizer for the National Democratic Congress in the Swami constituency of the Ashanti region, following an investigation into a viral video in which he incited political violence ahead of the 2024 general elections. The suspect, who was accused of inappropriate behavior, is scheduled to be arraigned on Thursday. On Wednesday, party supporters gathered at the Ashanti Regional Command before moving to the Suntresu District Command, where the suspect is now being held. Police started looking for Mr. Kwampa to apprehend him for inciting political violence in the viral video. The suspect had his statement taken in the presence of some NDC national and regional executives. Evans Amankwa, the suspect's lawyer, claims that neither his client nor the party is bothered by the detention. However, the New Patriotic Party wants the police to immediately prosecute the NDC youth organizer for Swami for his remarks. According to the party, this will serve as a deterrent to others in the run-up to the 2024 election. Mr. Richard Ahiamba, while addressing the press today, insisted that the opposition party must voice out its dissatisfaction with the comments.
Ladies and gentlemen, we believe this about the NDC, that the statement that the youth organizer made is not in isolation, or did he misspoke. He is clear-eyed about what he was saying. His remarks reflect the culture and ethos of the NDC. We expect the police and the courts to bring the Swami youth organizer to justice very quickly, to deter others who might be harboring similar violent and delinquent thoughts in the NDC. We demand the NDC to unreservedly disavow, disassociate, and expel this young man from their party without delay. That's the only point you can begin to take the NDC seriously about this comments that the young man has made, as though that they are not shielding him and they really want to discourage such commentary in our politics. Nothing short of this, ladies and gentlemen, will suffice. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot discard or discount these utterances as vain talk. This individual you just heard is coherent. It clearly appears that he knows what he's saying and understands what he's saying and knows what outcome he's expecting. It is dangerous, to put it mildly. Ladies and gentlemen, what is more dangerous, perhaps more egregious, is the NDC's failure to condemn and disassociate itself from these statements, but rather chooses to rationalize it. We cannot accept this as an ordinary misguided statement because, as I indicated earlier, it is too coherent to be taken less seriously. Besides, we believe his threats are not in isolation. He is inspired by the NDC's presumptive leader, the former President John Dramani Mahama, who publicly touted the NDC's credentials. Quote, NDC has revolutionary roots, and when it comes to unleashing violence, no one can beat us to it. Indeed, former President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC demonstrated this through their actions after the loss of the 2020 presidential elections.
Now, moving on, President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has reiterated the importance of the judiciary to Ghana's democratic growth. According to the president, a strong, independent and fair judiciary will enable the country to overcome many of its challenges. Speaking at the swearing-in of some 21 High Court judges of the Jubilee House on Tuesday, President Akufo-Addo said dedication and diligence should be their hallmark. The president administered the oath of allegiance and secrecy, as well as the judicial oath to the new justices of the Superior Court of Judicature in the banquet hall of Jubilee House.
The 21 justices of the High Court inducted into office is the 6th time the president has sworn in justices of the High Court since his assumption into office. According to President Akufo-Addo, the justices, including 12 men and 9 women, sworn into office upon the advice of the Judicial Council, given per the provisions of Article 144 Clause 3 of the Constitution, are eminently fit and qualified for the position of justice of the High Court and have the impartiality of mind and independence of spirit necessary to hold this high office. Speaking at the swearing-in at the Jubilee House, Mr. Akufo-Addo said dedication and diligence should be the hallmark.
The judiciary has onerous responsibilities to protect the fundamental human rights of citizens, to act as the arbiter in disputes between the state and the citizen, and the arbiter in disputes between citizens, to serve as the bulwark for the defense of the liberties and the rights of our people, and for the promotion of the orderly development of our nation. The High Court, as stipulated in Article 140 of the Constitution, quote, has jurisdiction in all matters, and in particular, in civil and criminal matters, and such original, appellate, and other jurisdiction as may be conferred on it by this Constitution or any other law. So to you, newly sworn in justices, I say that it is essential that you show that you are honest, possess integrity, and a sound knowledge of the law. A corrupt or incompetent judge is a danger to the public interest and judicial administration. The situation where judges prefer judgments on the basis of decisions from lower courts and cite them as law is not acceptable.
Away from that, we are focusing in the Bono East region, where the Chimai North District Chief Executive, Everson Adodonko, on Tuesday cut sword for the commencement of the installation of a traffic light on the Techiman to Wasuye Road as part of promoting and easing the movement of vehicles to prevent road accidents. The move had become necessary as the intersection has for a long time threatened the lives of many as drivers and other commuters struggle to cross the road. Abena Makafi has more.
The sword-cutting ceremony met several dignitaries in the Techiman North District, including party executives, heads of affairs, and assembly members, among others. Speaking to Globe TV News after the occasion, the Techiman North District Chief Executive, Everson Adodonko, said the provision of the traffic light at the CA Junction will save the lives of people in the area.
DC, you know. Damakuma so say earlier me nu we are our district we say earlier so do so there but two about them of Fuman Junction and Techiman here Asuye Wanchi Junction no ye baabi I say yet to yani so the traffic light ekọ ho enti na ma ye dey focus nyina akọ ho at a go 1 year ye traffic me nu district because nipa nkwa ho hia ya say obi betu moto afiri Techiman say obeto abete ye junction ya so na obenya accident ya na on solibio. And you may be about a program, communicators, wapon or coffee or Timoto, so now bedura no akonya program. The I said, Human Nanakufa kind or say, Nipankwa and Anajedin.
Outlining some achievements of the MPP government, the DC also employed the government to immediately come to the aid of the Techiman North District by constructing the BOAHEN Road.
Timisara for Konya Weso. I'm the atomic president, me papa, Nanado and him said. Boy, must see a quine of the says a year or no, and was on one of Baba Yame. The year or no, Metiman for men and Nanum will be any Danos said 2023. Yet the Danos said on one of Baba Yaquine. And it was over Manasonte.
The MPP constituency chairman, Dr. Stephen Apieje Donko, for his part, explained the needs for the traffic light in the area. He urged everyone to hope in the Akufo-Addo administration as it seeks to restore the faith of the economy.
Now it is a very, very good traffic. I said the junction is here, very, very busy junction. Moto, Ebiana, Shiasi, they say Naka Bobby. When you say we bar, Nina, a true bicha. TMPP about Yabacoso, Niasumugana, Niasumugana.
The assistant manager for Aqua Rose Northern Sector, Mr. Yusuf Al Hassan, assured the completion of both traffic light, Tiabodom and She in 3 months.
Senior MC Kaeno contracting the Senke Beno Abosuminsia na honorable Bujina Hedia, Vesa Shanebo, Essa Abosuminsiano, Elnuru, Yamia Duma, Ibiwi Bibia,
Some road users and residents in the neighboring communities expressed their excitement to Globe TV News.
It's good because Ahano and yet to say omoye traffic light no ebeboa.
There's a mode by ebeboa because we tear sima o hwe say obi say we tear sima na car ba to moye traffic light na ebeboa.
Also, residents of Mampusi Line have expressed gratitude to the Techiman Municipal Assembly and the government for the commencement of the construction of a drain in the community. The drain, according to residents, was life-threatening and many, especially students, struggled to cross over to their destinations.
According to the residents, the drain, which has existed for over 30 years, hitherto resulted in several injuries and the spread of diseases such as They explained that although several contractors had been on site in an attempt to construct the drain, none of them were able to complete the construction work as they all left the site.
Got away there, met my case taking more than 35 years. So 35 years now, I say, the how be brave, how be to say, in soon to a 15 month for fee. Na even krano obiti mi tom krano ayren wa pira me kaza kura papa bi wa adan ha ne watito ma ne nsabuye e ma akola bi so sa ntede how bebre yeren ebre ama gata we krano binu mutumi ba ye beye no maba no mko ye be ye na be no mko ntieti se mo ba be bridge in fact ye da ni je kase na eden ehia o mo
meti se o mbe ye ni de me de pan every say so mutimi ye gota we no mu siesie ha ma ya ye nya floud mbia o area mu ha se ba bia nso to anzo ni betima atena yere akoba be wo se timi ko bia ena mve so mo ye gota we aya so o maintain ha so yina ya ho betima yere ato every say ha e wonya nso ne tata hono ma e mantontum be guma ma edura ni nyina so e de yare rubre de ebre e bi di se malaria ne de keka kan ona de ade ena fe so omo ya mo ye mo nye se bia omo ye de sikwa mu aye de aja no hwa akọ aha omo ya omo nto aso no nye de no mu wie ne nsi peye se de be ya obi ahun so be de ebetima hihan no.
The coordinator of the Kunemasi electoral area, Mr. Aminu Pisman, speaking on behalf of the assembly member, explained to Globe TV News efforts made by the Assembly and the Traditional Council to return the contractors to the site. He called on the Techima Municipal Assembly to support the contractor to ensure the completion of the project. The project engineer, Mr. Napoleon Belly, assured the completion of the project within 2 months.
But FM station, TV station, what an is saying to mock pictures. Now assemblyman Daulma, na area coordinator, na say Nanama more Hadaulma. Omu to have a more park as 6 years. Nanam say, ne papa tray. Omu to go to the Muma Musabuye. Ye papa queer friend Baba Kungu, Otoman is Sabuye. Ye Baba queer friend nice, only to Sabuye. Baba Congo ni Nana Baku, ni Babaku. Anusutum amane sabuye sa kwala ni nano ye ka kire FM for the assembly omantima mamaye.
Now, second-hand dealers wants the government to suspend all plans to ban the importation of used appliances into the country as it risks affecting their livelihood, particularly under the current economic situation. This follows the directive of the Energy Commission to ban the importation of such products in the interest of the country as it risks being turned into a dumping ground for electronic waste. Erica Ohenewa has more.
Despite the resistance from the dealers, the government, through Energy Commission, has reiterated the need to ban the importation and sales of these 19 electrical appliances. According to the Commission, Ghana is at risk of becoming a dumping site for electronic waste, which threatens health and safety. But how will these dealers be able to contain this directive if implemented? Mr. Paul has been in the second-hand business for some time, and he shared his experience with Globe TV News. According to Mr. Paul, Ghanaians are mostly interested in second-hand products due to their durability as compared to brand new products. He said the ban would create a burden on them and their consumers.
Ghana for no mono what the bar be gina am sene boadi bi wa say China goods on penny abrofono aya mo use no eno an on pen so ampa o check so a eno no etimi gina ama ya system no because koto mono no bia wa use abro so a be 2 years ndi wo kwa mema 1 year wara do ni say o wanya champion ten bi 2 years pena sha say ma problem ba home use no dey so you lucky no nya dey kama obedima use no be 10 years nya hwe ndi go home use dey ga pa no ma omoto e no aban twa second hand product mu a abaha Ghana ha bebre wo hwe TVS hwe a 15 inches brand new ebesi akura ache obia ampe ba me this home use no be ni na ma totoko esikafo akese no enu kura no mo pe mba mo so pe original na we na yo ha na China di any product bia se Ghana so yes you twa goose say bia ya wo product bia ya manufacture ye de Ghana ha ti se ka se twa home use mu pa de aba ha Ghana ba gu adwuma bebre e be sra ban enye sa system we mu na obetimi aka se bia wo gu home use no ti se television na se nyema ise no ogu ni se si ya dia ba bia Ghana we di so ka se o break sade we mo Ghana.
As for Osman Mohammed, he wants the government to replace the ban with a new policy to make life livable for them.
Aban bia bana obe the policy bi ba e se onya alternative say no ori obesi anan because one o be second hand products me dey na obesi anan companies ben na one more waiver or ba so o be bie na o ma ye new goods no bi aye den abeka ho ama for manya bi aye den ato because over television 32 inches here see where home use no 800 now compare to brand new, the list price is about 1,400 to around 2,000 or something, depending on the brand. Now, where I did 800, and omutimino. Now, only pan air pay double of that price and not triple of that price. I will see them. And mind you, television is almost if we are for I'm a hunter abai. Or this number also. Or quite humans or Buffia or be actually.
He noted that some specific appliances absorb electricity that the government may choose to place a ban on.
They might be on electric current. So I think some components in electric current, Sanema will be yarding a frame, not the entry current, a bit me about normal. Because some of the home use goods, brand new ones, no electric current, Bisquine consumption a pet. I believe say a home use free say. I think say also chamua. I think say a laudable because current electric current but laptop say entry current bia. I was say you more broader consultation. Ha, ye chena ye di adwe fa ho ne nkwan fo so a ye be manage niam no say be ya bia betima ko ya me nyina.
According to the dealers and some business analysts, although the decision made by the Energy Commission was critical, they continue to plead on the government to consider some alternative deal with the decision instead of the ban. For Globe TV News, Erica Hinowa.
Also, in the Ashanti region, traders in the Swam municipality have protested alleged plans to demolish their market space. These concerted traders claim the local assembly has served notice to demolish the market without a substitute space to house them. Speaking to Globe TV News, Dominic Adu-Barima of the construction firm Gigen Enterprise confirmed selling the shops to the traders at 30,000 cedis each between 2013 and 2014. However, some traders have described the move as inequitable after paying 30,000 cedis to occupy shops in the market.
Dominic Adu-Barima of the construction firm Gigen Enterprise confirmed selling the shops to traders at 30,000 Ghana cedis each between 2013 and 2014. He says this was based on an agreement reached with the local assembly. According to him, the Suame Municipal Assembly can only demolish the property if the traders are properly relocated or compensated, else they will assist the traders to sue the assembly.
Stores no almost in the contractor by 4 and we see adana esi echirehano contractors no obia won na pata obia won le lace na wo ho no obia ye contractor obia won contractor a wo see ye contractors for no be see dan no ye buy na ye beto stores no ka kire say so no to a forever it is store na what osisi on wo ye nkuma ba ko bia 30,000 Ghana cedi.
The traders argue that after years of utilizing their merchandise in the space, the demolition of the market will bring intolerable economic adversity. The aggrieved traders want the assembly to value their shops for compensation before demolition and relocation.
Yes, so I'm for your sick. Said, do be seen here, was 900 million. Minfia come me and Sanqua G. Love PM. Etime Slamo. Monka be my normal for your sick. My woman put Diana. Woman is kind of my neck. At Nayabe and your man from no more woman. Cecilia Musimuchi and a half on a modiaco. Yeah, but you Mutu yen. So Mutu as a money baby a modiaco. I come away, Mutu Yamusabia Hannah Monquatana. Namunya Juman Fancha Mama. And once a Mutu just like that. It is a Mutu just like that. Yeah. And yeah, you don't go anywhere. Yeah, baby. I will stay there. If you tell me, say,
The assembly is yet to respond to the current concerns of the traders. The municipal chief executive, Maxwell Ofosu-Boakye, has, however, indicated plans to construct a modern market with necessary facilities such as a police station and a fire service department.
Away from that, the Beverage Consumers and Bar Owners Association of Ghana, popularly known as the Ghana Drunkers Association, is embarking on a 3-day tour of the Western region over recent reports of alcohol-related incidents. According to the association, it is meeting its members in the region to help bring sanity to the consumption of beverages. In a press release on Wednesday, the Ghana Drunkards Association mentioned the besting of a young man's tummy after alcohol consumption, the murder perpetrated by a drunkard, the death of a young man during a drinking competition, and lately, the handcuffing of a customer by a police officer who owns a drinking bar as some of the worrying incidents involving its members. In the latest incident, the association called on the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufu-Dampare, to invite the officer and mete out the proper interrogation and sanctions. Well, coming up now is pause.
Hello, good morning. It's time to bring you updates from the world of sports. I am Robert Konyeh. Let me take you through the headlines for today. Jadon Sancho marked his return to the Premier League action with a goal which helped Manchester United secure a point against Leeds United in the Premier League. And also, Haiti Sport Team doctor says Ghanaian winger Christian Atsu is yet to be found after the earthquake in Turkey. Now, the Black Queens of Ghana will start camping on Sunday to begin preparations for their friendly games against Benin and Togo, which happens to be late in the month of February. Now, former Midiama captain Joseph Tetezuta has denied reports claiming he has retired from football after he left Midiama Sporting Club. Now, the details of these and many other stories will come your way after the short break. You're welcome back. Now, the battle of the United was at the Old Trafford yesterday. Manchester United and Leeds United played a 2-2 draw. Real Madrid scored El Ali by 4-1 to qualify to the final of the FIFA Club World Cup.
Globe TV, bringing the world to you. 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 Globe TV, bringing the world to you.
Now, Hete Sport team Dr. Gube Kavechi has disclosed that Ghana winger Christian Achu is yet to be found 2 days after the earthquake in Turkey. Earlier reports revealed that the winger had been pulled out of the rubble alive several hours after the 7.7 magnitude earthquake hit the European country. However, the doctor revealed after visiting the hospital where the Ghana player was reportedly receiving treatment that there was a case of mistaken identity. The search is still on as Ghanaians and the entire world hope for some good news in the coming hours. Now, Black Queens coach Nora Hopto has called up 34 players for camping at the Ghanaman Center of Excellence at Pram Pram in preparations for the 2 international friendlies lineup in the FIFA international window for February. Ghana will play against Benin and Togo to help the coach assess the team's strength as they look ahead of the 2023 WAFU B Women's Cup of Nations and the 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations. The Black Queens will face Benin on Sunday, February 19th, before clashing with Togo on Saturday, February 25th, 2023. Players are set to report at Pram Pram on Sunday, February 12th, 2023 at exactly 5 p.m. Now, former captain for Midiama Tete Zuta has denied reports in the media that he has retired from football. Zuta bid farewell to the fans after last Sunday's game against Samates at the Akum Park, which they won by 2-0. The 28-year-old was given a guard of honor in his last game for the club. He walked out alongside his family and addressed the fans that have supported him right from the time he made his debut as a teenager for the club. Contrary to the reports in the media, Tete Zuta disclosed that he has played his last game for Midiama but has not retired from football. Zuta joined the Takwa-based club as a teenager in 2008, clocking over 430 appearances and getting over 100 goals and assists in the Ghana Premier League for the club. He won the Ghana FA Cup twice with Midiama in 2013 and 2015. The midfielder has gone down in the history as the most loyal and dedicated Midiama footballer to have graced the pitch in Takwa. Now that's all for sports this morning. I am Robert Konyeh. Meet the crew at 9 a.m. for Sports Arena. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome back. Let's take a recap of the top stories. The Ghana Police Service is probing the alleged murder of a Ghanaian woman who was back in the country on holiday from her base in Italy. Also, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has reiterated the importance of the judiciary to Ghana's democratic growth. And also, after years of traffic headaches, construction will begin on the Techiman-Tuwasue intersection. Well, that's all for you this morning. My name is Sandra Eduboy. Coming up now is Yes Innocent. Do enjoy the rest of our programs.